Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for XRP. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, you know this is a very complex structure and I'm only projecting one wave at a time. I do have further out targets up at the 1-to-1 extension of this 3-wave W wave off this X up around 557 on log scale and basically 215 on linear. Those are just placeholders. I'm not projecting that that's likely to happen at the moment, just so you're aware. Now, we've talked many times about fractals. I know other people suggest that this is a similar wave to this one, and we're absolutely going to explode from here up to those levels. I won't say it's not going to happen, but I would say it's very improbable. Reason being, length of time. You would expect it to happen in a similar length of time. So it should have happened pretty much already if we're going with probabilities. Now, going from probability shift, there's a couple assumptions you have to make if you're in this trade. I am currently long, and I'll show you that in a moment. But as of right now, I'm projecting one of two things to happen. The least probable one, I think, is this is a 3-wave move. This is all we got for a correction, this tiny little A wave, which is low probability, and we're going straight to the 1-to-1, which is at 138. So basically, we get a 3-wave move. That's all of our correction, and we get a 3-wave move up to that level. And that would complete a larger 3-wave move. And after that fact, we would pay attention to what happens here. Do we make lower lows and make a connector from this wave? Or do we just make a sideways correction, and this is an A wave, and we move up correctively to the upside? So this is why the structure is so complicating XRP at the moment. So we can come to that 1-to-1, and that creates a 3-wave move. What I think is most probable is using my time guidelines. This is a W wave. We're in the middle of a 3-wave move correcting this W wave. I think it's most likely to happen in a flat, like so. It takes between 618 and the 1-to-1 in time. And then we make our move up, where we get a 3-3-3 to the upside. That's what I think is most probable at this moment. I'm just going with my standard guidelines. Now, downside can happen from here, where we grind down, but I think it's low probability too. Reason is we have to look at evidence. And the evidence for the downside is this would be an A, B, and we're making a C wave to the downside, right? And I don't think that's likely because of the length of time this took compared to this wave over here. Usually if we're going to make 5 waves down after that, or 3, it should happen faster than this previous one for at least the first wave down. And we come up and we go down. So because of those reasons, this is the highest probability to me at the moment. Now, targets for that is just the 1-to-1 right now, where this makes a 3-wave move. If we stall out there, then there's the possibility that this opens up and we get a lower low over here. And then we're back in this 3-3-5. Very difficult to keep Elliott Wave easy to understand when you're in such a complex structure. But, okay, so probability 1 has me going up and making this flat. Probability 2, low probability, is that's all the correction. We go up to the 1-to-1. Where we potentially fail at our pivot is this 1-to-1, where this just makes an ABC. So that's an area to pay attention to. I think very low probability is we come straight down and don't break this A wave, just because of the amount of time that's passed. So going with that, my trade setup, just going off the larger time frames right now, just targeting that 1-to-1. At that 1-to-1, my current trade is at a 5-to-1 risk reward. If you watch my last video, I got in on this pullback. I didn't know what the count was because it's very difficult, a lot of chop, but I have probabilities moving to the upside with a good risk reward. That's why I took that trade. If we look back at previous waves, you can see how much chop they take. You end up getting the proper count where you just get a series of threes like so, but it's hard to project with any probability on the low time frames currently. All I know is for my trade setup, I'm protecting this low. That's all I care about at the moment. So that was my original entry right on this pullback. I think I bought at the 50. My trade is actually on a different chart than this one. That's why it's not on there. Yeah, I got right around the 50, between the 382 and the 50. It's been a little bit since I've updated this one. I think it was at the 1-to-1 extension. It's usually my area, which was at 53.55. That was my entry. And again, as of right now, this is a very difficult count. I just had it as a WXY basically right now, as a double-ish zigzag. You can see it's very difficult to count. I'm just going to let this play out, and the count should make itself obvious once we get a larger pivot. Similar to Manta, don't know what's going to happen here. This could turn into a flat, come back, and then we get our connecting wave, keep moving up correctively to the upside. No idea. Or this could be a wave 1, 2, this moves up correctively, makes a diagonal like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we get our correction back. Literally have no idea, just to be clear. Anybody that tells you they have a clue what's going on at this moment, I'd love to hear their reasoning. But as of right now, that is my trade setup, going for the 5-to-1. That is the closest target that might get extended based on how this wave ends up panning out and the labeling changes. Like I said, this could be all the X wave we got, and we're actually pushing from here up to that 1-to-1 at 138. Not sure yet. I need to let this wave pan out, more price action to lean into a good wave count. But yeah, it looks good at the moment. Looks like we're going to get that move to the upside. The area that we need to pay attention is at that 1-to-1. That's where this can be a 3-wave correction, and we need continuation for this wave here before we attempt a move to the upside again. But I will move my stop up, obviously, as we get up there. I would prefer us just to eat through it, come to our B wave zone, and make an ABC flat, and then I will get very interested in a long in this area if we get that pattern. All right, guys, I wish I had a better wave count for you. As of right now, just going with the larger view, and that's why my stop's at that low currently. All right, guys, that's it for XRP. If you want to follow my updates on Twitter, it's at caching_waves. Check out today's playlist if you want, and thanks for watching.